This is the yoke of Christ that we take on for God and for one another. This Sunday Gospel, Jesus invites all who are weary and burdened to come to Him and find rest. This invitation is not limited to people of Jesus' time, but extends to all those who are oppressed and marginalized in our world today. Jesus seeks out those who are tired, sick, and sinners, offering them hope and healing. He calls them to Himself and promises relief and rest. This invitation is relevant to the many people in the world who face difficult and precarious situations, lacking support, valid points of reference. Jesus' call reaches out of those who suffer under the weight of neglect, indifference, and unjust economic society. He invites them to find rest and comfort in Him. But Jesus' invitation is not only for those in need. He also addresses those who seem to have everything but are empty and lacking God in their lives. Jesus invites them to come to Him as well. Jesus promises rest to everyone, but He also gives us a commandment to take His yoke upon ourselves and to learn from Him. The yoke of the Lord entails taking on the burden of others with fraternal love. Having received comfort and rest from Christ, we are called to be sources of comfort and rest for others. This requires a humble and gentle heart, where our personal views, judgments, criticisms, or indifferences do not weigh down those we encounter. Jesus' invitation to come to Him and find rest extends to all people, especially those who suffer the most. Once we have received His rest, we are called to become sources of rest and comfort for others. Taking on the yoke of the Lord means carrying the burdens of others with love, humility, and compassion, and not allowing our own biases or indifference to weigh them down. This is the yoke of Christ that we take on for God and one another. When we look at the gospel passage from the point of mysterious path of grace, it's a divine invitation that calls us to encounter the transforming power of God's love in our lives. We know how the yoke is used in modern world. People carry stuff. People carry vegetables, carry water. People carry yoke to balance. But when you look at the yoke from the point of grace of God, we will be fascinated because it operates beyond our human understanding. It is the divine intervention of God's love, His unmerited favor, and His enabling presence that uplifts us and grants us rest. We cannot earn or achieve this grace through our own efforts. It's a gift freely given by a loving Father through His Son, Jesus Christ, the Redeemer. When we come to Jesus with our burdens, we acknowledge our need for Him, our dependence on His mercy and strength. We humbly recognize that our labor alone cannot save us, but it's through His grace we can find true rest and liberation. It's through His grace that our burdens are lightened and we discover renewed purpose and hope. Yoke is not to burden, but yoke in Jesus Christ enables us to discover purpose and hope in our lives. The path of grace calls us to let go of our self-reliance, let go of our pride, and attempts to control our own lives. It calls us to trust in God's goodness and surrender ourselves to His will. As we do so, we open ourselves to the transformative power of His grace, which brings healing, restoration, and peace. Christ's yoke in our life brings healing, restoration, and peace. As we reflect on the mysterious path of grace, let us remember it is not a one-time event, but a continual journey. It requires us to remain connected to Jesus through prayer, the sacraments, and a life rooted in His Word. It calls us to seek His guidance, to be attentive to His voice, and allow His grace to shape and transform us. Let's respond to the invitation of Jesus with open hearts and willing spirits. Let's come to Him today, lay down our burdens at His feet, and experience the rest that only He can give. Let's embark on the mysterious path of grace, trusting that His love and mercy will guide us, sustain us, and ultimately lead us to eternal rest in His kingdom. Love, grace, lightens every load of our lives. May we intercede to our Blessed Virgin Mary. May Mary, the humblest and highest of creatures, implore from God wisdom of the heart for us, the wisdom of the heart, that we may discern its signs in our lives, and be sharers in those mysteries which, hidden from the proud, are revealed to the humble.